I am Vinnie Todorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Yeah, they were popular during that time, right in the grunge era when I was living up at Mickey Hargitay's house, the late, great Mickey Hargitay, one of the greatest bodybuilders before the steroid era. Also, the father of Mariska Hargitay, TV's Mariska Hargitay, and the ex-husband of Jane Mansfield. You got to be pretty old to know who she was. But yeah, folks, you just heard a voice in there. That's the beautiful Miss Anna Vocino. Yeah.
No relation to any Hargitay.
Yeah, no Hargitay relationships whatsoever.
Sorry.
She's Italian. She's not Hungarian. So
True.
no Hargitay. But you look a little bit like Mariska, but a better, like a good-looking Mariska.
Yeah, thank you. That's what people say about me.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
she wishes.
Yeah, she wishes she had the
She wishes.
Yeah. She's got to be one of the richest TV stars of all time.
She has never not worked.
Well, I've told this story before. Mickey said to me, he goes, "Hey, why don't you come up to the main house tonight? We're watching. My daughter is starring in this show, and it's a new show." And I said, "What's it called?" He goes, "It's called what's it called? The Dick Wolf Show."
SVU?
Yeah, but what's
Law and Order.
Law and Order. And she's the star. And I said, "No, Mickey, Law and Order has been on for years." And he goes, no. This is a new Law and Order, and Mariska is the star. And I was like, okay, your out of work actress daughter who had one scene in a Seinfeld or something a couple of years ago is all of a sudden the star of a Dick Wolf. I'm thinking this to myself. And I said, "Mickey, are you sure it's not one of the people that ends up murdered in the show or something like that?" And he goes, "No, she's the star of the show. It's a new show." And I said, "It's not." We went around in circles 5 times. And then I found
this is before you knew how many SVUs and Law and Orders and all the things. You didn't know that there was going to be a bajillion franchises that were going to run.
First there was only Law and Order, and then there was Criminal Intent, and then there was this and that.
And wasn't Law and Order a New York show too? Like it wasn't even an LA show.
Well, she was like,
this is Jerry Orbach and all the New York guys, all the Broadway guys.
Well, I think it always filmed, like Mariska was always in New York.
Oh, it was? Okay.
And, because Mickey would always say, "Hey, when Mariska comes back to town, you guys should go hang out." Like, I think, he really
trying to hook you up with his daughter.
Yeah, he really liked me. Right.
Yeah.
And I thought Mariska was cute. But my problem was if I go out with her a few times, and then
you don't like her,
and then won't work out. Then I'm living here, and it's gonna get weird, and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't really, looks wise, wasn't my type. Like when they're taller and bigger than me and have man hands is not really my type.
What?
She's a big girl.
Is she?
Not like obese or anything. She's a big, sturdy woman. Like peasant stock, and but was very cute. But the biggest problem I had was it wasn't going to work out, Anna. That was the problem. Well, I can't say how I feel. I wasn't attracted to her.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's on you.
Yeah. Okay. I would have been a bazillionaire right now, married to Mariska Hargitay. But Anna, I want to bring someone on real quick. I'm going to try to get someone on the phone. I'm going to plunk this phone down because I want someone to back up the story I'm getting ready to tell you. Because if I don't get someone to back it up, then you're going to go, "Okay, Vince, it's time for your tinfoil hat." So can I bring someone on?
Of course.
And it's not Maury. Don't worry. It's not my brother.
I would love to talk to Maury.
Let's see if he picks up.
Well, he better.
You don't even know who he is.
It's Chris. Just say it's Chris. Why are you being mysterious?
I'm not saying it's Chris.
Chris,
Hey,
where are you?
Hey, Chris,
There's Chris.
how you doing?
good.
Hey,
Hi, Chris.
Chris, you're on the show. Can we bring you on the show?
You're already on the show, bro.
Already there.
Yeah, well, I would have cut it out if you would have said no, but I knew you weren't going to say no.
Oh.
Chris loves us. He wants to be here.
Yeah. Chris, if you got me on speaker, put it up to your ear because it's a little wonky.
Chris, get it together.
So,
All right. So, Chris, I'm getting ready to tell a story, and I want someone to be on the air that can back up my story because otherwise I sound like an insane person when I tell the story. And please, Chris doesn't know what I'm going to talk about. Please, Chris, if I'm off kilter, bring me back to life, right? All right. So, Anna, you know how I've had a problem with Meta, with Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
They throttle me back. Chris and I have talked about that left, right, and center. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going to keep trying to dance with the prom date that doesn't want to have anything to do with me.
Right.
You know, just like LeBron James, I'm going to take my talents elsewhere. So I already had an X account. So I went, you know what? I'm just going to go, because I talk to people and answer questions on X every day. Anybody can ask me anything for free on X. And if it's within reason, I answer it. And I think it's the way to do it, right? Well, I said to Chris, I said, you know what? We probably, Chris, how many videos do you think we had or still have on Instagram? Is it a couple of thousand?
yes.
Okay. So I said, Chris, we have all of these Instagram videos, these reels that they won't show to my audience. So how about we take these reels and just every day put, how many? We put like one or two a day on X, right, Chris?
Yeah, it depends on the day, but one or two.
That's
Okay.
good.
Maybe three if we're feeling very spicy.
Yeah, so we're just flooding them on X, and people are loving them, man. So, you know, sometimes if we get 5,000 or 6,000 people viewing it, that means it was pretty much a hit. Every now and then we'll get one that'll really blow up. We had one the other day that went north of 40,000 views. Chris, back me up on this. If it's a dog, we still get what, 1,500 to 2,000 views, something like that?
Yeah, if it does less than that, we consider it to be hot garbage.
Yeah.
So you mean if it's a dog, meaning it's a non-performer, not like a dog? Because if it was a dog, you'd probably get even more views.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Why don't you just put up dog content?
Yeah, dog content would get a gazillion views. But
Yeah.
if it's not doing well, it's
Right.
15, 16, 1,700 views.
Okay.
You know, so Chris put one up on Monday, and it wasn't even me. It was Dr. Ben Bigman, who has a pretty good presence online. And it was a scene from my last movie that I put out, Dirty Keto.
Okay.
And it's talking about GLP-1s.
Okay.
And I happened to notice he put it up on Monday. Chris, it went up on Monday?
At noon.
At noon on Monday. And by Wednesday, now, usually if we see one with 15 or 1,600, that's in the first 12 to 15 hours. That means it didn't perform well. By Wednesday, this one had how many views, Chris?
151?
It was 151 views after 3 days.
Wow. That's a dog.
We've never had anything
And
do less than like 15, 16. Go on, Chris.
yeah, I was going to say the title for it, Vinnie,
Yeah.
was The Problem with Ozempic.
Yeah. So that's where I was going to get to. So Chris and I were talking about other stuff. And I said, Chris, I wonder why this did not get views. And we brought up this, that, and the other thing. And then Chris goes, oh, look at the title. And I said, what's wrong with the title? He goes, I put the word Ozempic in the title. So you know how you could do a little write-up before a thing?
Mm.
It said, this is the problem
Yeah,
with
it's like you quote the tweet.
right,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I'm looking at it right now, by the way. I know the change you made.
All right. We took the word Ozempic out. We took it down. We immediately, it was taken down and put right back up right away.
So you fully deleted it. You didn't just try it again. Like you didn't do a separate post. You just deleted the original.
Explain what we did because I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I had just put another post up, I think about 25 minutes before he and I started having this conversation. We're having the conversation. I said, the only thing that makes any sense is the title because, we tagged our buddy Ben. It went up when we post stuff normally, right? This Monday wasn't a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do it again. And he goes, why don't you put it up right now and see what happens? And I said, yeah, we can do that. I just posted something, so we know it's going to step on that. But we'll also know almost immediately if it does better because it's really not hard to get 151 views, right? Like, that's a very simple thing to do. So if it does better, then we have a very good indication that it's the title because it went up around the same time, 23 hours and 41 minutes after the other one, right? So right around noon. So we just deleted it, put the same exact video up at essentially the same time of day. The only thing we did was change the title.
Chris, how many views does that have? All right. So today is Thursday. We did that yesterday at around noon. And it's about 24 hours later right now. How many views do we have, Chris?
It's just under 2,500.
Just under 2,500. Can you?
So it went from 150 views to 24 and change. 2,400.
151. And by the way,
yeah, don't go exaggerating. It was 151.
150 right. Anna, 151, as you know from being in social media, and 0 is the same number.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That's 0. And for a guy who has, I don't know, we have like 45, 46,000 people on my Twitter, and I'm a blue mark guy and all the beautiful things, right? For me to have, there's nothing I'm going to do with 150, like that never happens. That, folks, we're telling you this to let you know how strong these drug companies are, because Twitter is supposed, when I know people love and hate Elon, but when Elon took over, it was to open it up. We're going to open this up and everyone has the same everything. Bullshit. I call bullshit right now, because if a drug company wants to stop something, if you're wondering why we're sick and nearly dead as a society, it's not because of Elon. It's not because of Twitter. These drug companies have power. If you think I'm kidding, think again. They have power that you will never be able to understand. We get to see it because we're doing this stuff all the time. Chris, any thoughts? Anna, any thoughts?
Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
No, listen, this is 1,000%. I guarantee, here's what they feed into the algorithm. Anything that's positive about the GLP-1s, they're going to let it go. They're going to let it get traction. Anything that's negative, they're going to pull it.
But who are they? That's always my question.
People who work at Twitter.
Yeah, but
who else would do that?
Right, so who's controlling?
Who else would control it?
Well, it's got to be Twitter, but who's giving them their
ones are huge advertisers with them.
Who's giving them their marching orders?
The brass, the people. There are people in charge of the algorithm. It's not a computer going rogue. Humans are programming the algorithm.
Right. So
it was kind of like when YouTube a couple of years back. I don't think they're doing it anymore. But anybody who was using the word keto, YouTube said, that was bad medical advice, and they shut people's YouTubes down.
I'm one of them. That's what, I got what, 30, 40,000 YouTube subscribers. They won't even show my content to my subscribers.
Yeah.
So we know that but I was under the impression that X was wide open, man. It's the Wild West.
No, none of them are.
It's not.
And by the way, for somebody who has 45,000 followers,
right,
your regular views should be way more than 2,400.
Right.
I mean, I know there's a lot of dead accounts on X now, but then I've heard that they've been sweeping them out and cleaning them out.
Well, we know they sweep them out because we see like every several months they sweep out, a couple of thousand, right, Chris? And then we're building up from there. So they're always cleaning up bots, which I'm happy with. I want real people on my account.
I want you to know Eli Lilly right now is sweeping Reddit and using comments that people put on Reddit to sue compounding pharmacies.
Really?
Yes. It matters. It matters on social media. And I guarantee the social media people are in cahoots with the companies. Guaranteed.
So the one place that we thought, all right, so is there any place, like I know, Anna, you're on Substack, right? And Substack is supposed to be a safe haven. Is it, or are they going to come out?
I'm not saying that much controversial stuff. Like I'm not doing controverscy here.
I'm not even controversial. I don't think I'm controversial. I'm trying to get
I know that's true.
Right? I'm not out there.
I guess that depends. I would assume so. I think that there's all sorts of voices on Substack, but the problem with Substack is they are trying to create their own ecosystem. And like little Ashley Penkall, she said, she keeps writing me going, I've missed all of your recipes because I'm not on the Substack app. And I'm like, well, they have an app, but it's just a website. You can just go to the website and find the recipes. And she said, but they always try to make you subscribe and do the things. Like, well, of course, because that's what all the social media platforms, they want to capture you so you never leave the platform.
Right.
And they want to be all the things to all the people. But everybody that you do subscribe to on Substack can allegedly receive an email in their inbox. They could, and if they unsubscribe, they unsubscribe. But it's there. It exists. I don't know, but they are squelching stuff for sure. Nobody's as free speech as they claim to be. Come on.
Chris?
On Substack, they will throw a pop-up in your face that says you have to put in your email, but there is a no thanks button.
And they make it really dim.
Which I know, Anna, some of your stuff is you have to be subscribed for, right? Like the fudgy brownie bites.
Exactly. There are premium subscriber posts. Right. Absolutely. And those are people who pay to get my behind the paywall recipes, or I do a lot of cooking tutorials. Absolutely. But I'm talking about 99% of the recipes are out there in front of the paywall, but they make these pop-ups and make it seem like you have to give them your email address when you don't.
Right.
Yeah, and they do put a button on there, but it's like the same color as the background, right?
Of course.
No shade against Substack. I get what they're trying to do, but for anybody who runs into that, there is a button at the bottom of that just says no.
But I'm also have you ever been able to start any social media account without an email address, without signing? They want to capture your data. This is what they're doing. Right. This is what they're doing. So there's no perfect place. I personally like sending emails the best. Email marketing to me is the best. And I hate using the word marketing because I literally tell people everything that's going on with the business and what's going on with my life over the emails, because I know that my tried and trues are reading it there. And I can't trust that they'll even see a Substack, that they certainly won't see a Twitter or an Instagram or a TikTok I still post stuff there, but I don't believe that people are going to see it. But the fact that Eli Lilly is right now and the other drug companies are pulling people's comments from Reddit and using that as evidence in court to sue compounding pharmacy so that they can keep the thing, they are watching social media very closely.
It's scary. It's Orwellian, and it's just crazy. And if I hadn't, we always sound like, that's why I wanted to get Chris on the phone, Anna, because people have to realize there are forces out there. We're trying to make people healthy here. That's all we're trying to do. When I have to, look, I'm not trying to win some, I'm not trying to be the prom queen. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. If I was, I would be doing something differently online. I know how to make people like me. I'm not here to get people to like me. I'm here to put a message out, right? And sometimes when you're putting a message out, you become unpopular, right? You're not, I've never been a popular kid. I never will be. But I want to get this message out. And when you have a problem like this, where you look and you go, wow, Ben Bigman, one of the smartest doctors out there, he knows more about GLP-1s than anyone. And you put this message out there and they won't show it to anybody. We did one thing, Anna. We took one word out and boom.
I'm
And by the
actually
way,
surprised
hey,
because
hang
the
on.
thing you replaced it with seems also too like it would be something that would be like a flag because they don't. Instagram will not let you tag things with weight loss or losing weight. You will
Right.
be shadow banned if you use
Oh,
that hashtag.
we get listen, I don't even want to get into Instagram, but
Yeah,
the
bacon fat.
Meta
That's Facebook.
called that
Yeah.
hate speech because we had the word bacon fat. But to think that we just put it up and threw it on top of another post, that's something you never do in social media. You never crowd one post with the other post. As a matter of fact, because we crowded it, it turned the other post into a dog. I think that post barely has like 1,000 views, right? This post ended up doubling that post, doubling it plus, right? That
I dare
allows
you
you
to do
know.
another experiment with it. Chris, you should try another experiment
Well,
and see.
so my experiment, and I was thinking of this as you two were talking. I think we just turn into sarcastic soccer moms.
Yeah.
And instead of saying the problem with Ozempic or the problem with, the vegan diet, we say why I love.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Try that.
All right, wait, can I do one
Just
right
see what
now?
happens.
Chris, I'm going to do it right
Yeah.
now, and then we can pull it from this podcast. All right?
Okay.
Now, should I say it in a sarcastic way so that people can know that I'm winking? Or should I do a bunch of winking into the camera? How do I do this?
If you do a bunch of winking into the camera, people might think you're having a stroke. But if you just kind of wink at the beginning and say it sarcastically, then I think people
Oh, wait, I have an idea. Hang on, Chris. I have an idea. Oh, fuck. Of course, my marker doesn't work. Let me find another marker. Come on.
Oh, you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to put a sign underneath me.
You know what the kids say? You have to do a slash and an S. That means sarcasm.
/S. Yeah.
It
I
has to
don't
look
understand.
like this.
I
I'll
mean,
show
and,
you.
yeah,
I'll show you.
and
So any post that you write that's sarcastic, it has to look like this. See
All right,
that?
so should I put that on this sheet of paper?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's a slash and then an S, and that means you're being sarcastic.
So a slash and an S under it, right?
Mhm.
All right. Like this, Anna?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right.
I wish your marker worked better though. I wish it was like a Sharpie.
This is a fine Sharpie.
Oh,
My
you
Sharpie.
need a chubby Sharpie.
Wait, you know what, Anna? Do a Villa Capelli ad. I have a red Sharpie over there.
Oh, yes,
Do a
sir.
Villa Capelli ad.
Okay, guys. Villa Capelli is the best olive oil on the planet. Here's what I'm making for dinner tonight. I took Villa Capelli olive oil, I took salt dust, I took lemon juice, and I took extra pepper. And I'm making a lemon pepper salt dust chicken. And I soaked it with the Villa Capelli. Villa Capelli is like a flavor. That's why we need the olive oil, because the olive oil carries the flavor into your food, whether you're making a salad dressing, whether you're marinating something, whether you're sauteing the delicious foods. Fats take the flavor and put it into your food and make it nice and juicy. Villa Capelli is the best olive oil on the planet. It is 100% pure, first press, extra virgin olive oil. They've been sold out for a little while on the site, which means they're coming back any day now. So go to villacapelli.com and put your email address in the 3-liter tin or the 750 milliliter, whatever you need to do to get your email address in there. And then when Stephen marks it back in stock, Stephen Crutchfield, the proprietor, when he marks it back in stock, you need to jump on it and order that olive oil. And when you do, use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, and you will get 10% off your order. We always say try to get your cart sized around $140. So then when you use the Vinnie code, you still qualify for the free shipping. It is without a shadow of a doubt the best olive oil on the planet. And if there's if we ever get shadow banned about olive oil, I'm done. I will shut this whole thing down. I will burn it to the ground. Villa Capelli olive oil.
Okay, Anna.
Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
All right. Hang on.
Okay.
All right. All right. You see, all right, I'm going to stand up straight. I'm going to sit up straight. Do you see this?
Why would you write? No, just do the thing with the S. Just get another piece of paper and just do the half.
I'm going to do the whole thing. Just does it read backwards in your camera?
Yeah.
Or
No, it reads forwards.
Okay. Okay, because it reads backwards in mine.
They can always flip you then.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let me get my glasses off so I can look sexy.
Okay.
I think anyone with a weight problem should take a GLP-1, such as Ozempic or Mounjaro or Wegovy. Take it right away. It's the only way to lose weight. Go take one of these drugs right away. If you don't have a prescription, talk to your doctor. Do not take the fake ones. Go get the ones made by the good drug companies because those are better. Okay, stay motivated. Okay.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris
is going to pull that and then put it up and see what happens.
Chris, here's what I want you to do. Tonight when I send this off to Leona and Debbie, Chris, are you still, I'm going to send it to you too. Or to you also.
Okay.
I'm not going to send it to Bono. I'm going to send it to you also. And Anna, I'm going to keep this here so we could do this more often. I'm going to keep this sign.
Okay.
All right.
It's Vinnie's sarcastic comment of the week.
So, Chris, I want you to take it and I want you to run it tomorrow. I want you to cut me out. Or Anna, you want to be, no, just make it me. Take Anna out and just make it me doing the comment the way Debbie would do my thing, my Stay Motivated post. Okay. And run it.
I can grab that.
Run it tomorrow. And put in the title, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy are the best drugs available, or something like that. Like, really go for it.
And let's see how much engagement.
Like, everyone should be on one of these medications. Everyone. You know, just whatever you can do.
-5 views.
Yeah. And then put it up. You'll see what I did here. I made a sign. Yeah. And let's see if it works.
They're gonna delist your Twitter account for thinking that it's spam. They're gonna think you got hacked.
You were too positive about it.
Yeah. So I want you to do Chris, I want you as overboard. You're going to see how overboard I look when I did this.
His face was the most insincere I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Just run it. Right.
Like, this is how we have proof that Vinnie cannot tell a lie. And also I can't wait for people to extrapolate this and they only hear the audio and they don't see you holding that sign. And they're going to be like, well, Vinnie said, no, it's changed. He's flip.
Yeah. You know what? If someone just goes to that point in the podcast and does that, they deserve to end up on a GLP-1. Okay?
They're gonna call you a flip flopper. You're gonna get
flip flop. Who was the candidate that flip flop?
John Kerry.
They
even brought flip flops to the convention.
Yeah, he's a flip flopper, bro.
The greatest political troll of the last 50 years is people taking flip flops to John Kerry.
I mean, it's beyond vuvuzelas or whatever those noisemakers were.
You know what was my two favorite political things of all time is when a guy took a shoe off and threw it at Bush.
Oh,
and Bush just moved his head to the side like a boxer. It just moved his head.
And it didn't hit him, right? It did, or did it?
No, it didn't. It just winged right past him. And then the media goes,
Out their shoe and throws it at a president.
some guy from some country, and they said, in his country, to take your shoe off and to throw it at someone is the biggest insult. No shit.
Yeah, no shit.
It's a big insult through most of the Middle East.
So my other favorite one, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Reagan was on stage and like a balloon or something popped in the audience. And
he said, "Missed me."
Yeah, and without
After he was shot.
I think it was after he was shot.
Yeah.
He's on stage.
Yeah.
He doesn't flinch. He's in the middle of a sentence, and you hear pow, and he goes, "Missed me," and he just continues on with his speech.
That's awesome.
That's my two favorite moments in political history. You know,
I don't remember that one. I think I was too little. I'm so young.
Yeah.
Chris, can that be found on the internet? That's got to be out.
Oh yeah,
right?
the video.
I'm sure Reagan missed
everywhere, and
yeah,
it was right after the assassination attempt on Reagan.
Yeah,
and he came back on stage. You know, I don't know if it was like right after, but it was after, and fairly close in time. And he just looked deadpan at the camera and said, "Missed me," and kept going with the speech.
Amazing.
You gotta love it.
And Teddy Roosevelt finishing the speech after he got shot is even better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's it'll take more than a bullet to kill a bull moose or whatever. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one, but he actually got shot as opposed to making a joke out of it. Right. Like,
yeah, you got to love those kind of guys. Anyway, Chris, everything going well at the companies? Everything doing well over there?
Chris, are we still in business?
yeah, we are. Vinnie, you and I were talking the other day about our struggles with USPS. I think I finally nailed down the rest of that list.
Oh, really?
So
Good.
anybody that's been affected by that will know before this podcast comes out. But yeah, they're still the bane of my existence. Anna, I know you've complained in the past about having to ship big, heavy glass things. Turns out shipping little tiny things that fit in USPS envelopes, also a giant pain in the butt.
Maybe
We have had way better luck. We send all of our spices almost. I mean, if people are just ordering twin packs and 3-packs, we send almost all of them USPS because they're under the limit in our box, but they're in special boxes. We've had almost no issues. You know, there's a few porch pirate things that happen, but we always try to, even though it's not our responsibility, we do try to help the person out. You know, replace them. But the issues we have is UPS drop kicks. They kick the sauces, and it's just.
Oh, by the way, folks, since we're talking about Anna Vocino, I misplaced her salt, and I figured out what happened to it. She sent me the new salt.
I can't wait for you to try it. Put it on your eggs.
So, Anna, it turns out I had tried it. I loved it. I took it to Louisiana with me when we went to Louisiana.
Do you need some more?
No, I told Serena, I said, Serena, I'm going to tell this to Anna tonight. Order some before, because I'm tired of Anna sending me free stuff. She pays for my stuff over at purevitaminclub.com and my ultra fat. So we ordered some more of the salt. By the way we ordered it was we did BOGO 25.
You did.
So I didn't pay full price.
You got 4 twin packs.
Yes.
You got, because you wanted some of each flavor. Which
I needed everything because we need everything, right? We use your stuff as if it's the only stuff available on the market to put on your food.
I'm high on my own supply. I feel the same way. I buy no other spice blends.
You know, the only thing that we end up with too much of is the taco, because I only make taco meat about once a week. And it takes very little.
Taco stuff more in the summer because we grill. We'll use it as a carne asada rub. We'll grill stuff more often in the summer. It kind of ebbs and flows. I use the dill and the salt just now. I use every single day. Every single day.
The salt was so good. I remember. I was like, "What happened to that salt?" It went to Louisiana. It didn't come back. My sister-in-law is enjoying it. Screw her. I bought some more salt. So do not send me any. We got some coming in. And we're getting
I'm glad you realize what happened.
Yeah.
So what happened with USPS, Chris?
Chris, you heard a rumor?
So, but before we get there, I heard a rumor that even if you're lame and you don't like amazing pasta sauce or spices, that there's a new snack coming to Eat Happy Kitchen, and I believe you can sign up to get notified already, right, Anna?
Thank you for doing my job because I'm not good at marketing.
You suck at it, to be quite honest, Anna.
Yes, our cheese bites are they're going to be made May 21st, and I believe this episode comes out the second or third Monday in May. This
Mm-hmm.
is we have May 5th. This will come out May 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we are making the cheese bites. If you go to eathappykitchen.com, you'll see one of the things to sign up for the cheese bites. It's right on the homepage. If you sign up for early, we're doing a deep discount for this first round of cheese bites. You will have an extra discount code if you sign up early. Those people who are putting their email list, giving it to us to get that, you will get rewarded on that. And the cheese bites are basically crunchy cheese bites that are just cheese with the spice blends. So we used the salt dust and we made a white cheddar and onion, which is like a sour cream and onion kind of situation. The barbecue cheddar, which tastes just like a barbecue potato chip, but obviously it's just cheese. It's just cheese and the spice. And then the Monterey Jack and the ranch, which is the dill. And
And
they're insane. And I will send you those videos as soon as they make them.
Ranch and Gouda. Right?
No, ranch and Gouda, we've changed it. So I've got to update the artwork on the site. We're doing Monterey Jack. We're keeping it like a true ranch experience with Monterey Jack and ranch.
Anna, I will be fueling my trip up Whitney this year with two products.
Yes, I'm going to get you those cheese bites for Whitney.
Two
I want
products.
a summit.
I'm taking your product.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the cheese bites. I'm taking ultra fat, and I'm taking my Pure Coffee Club coffee. Do you know we stop along the way and I make coffee along the way?
That's
We call it Starbucks.
that's so great.
Yeah.
I want a summit picture of our product. You are holding the products on the summit of Mount Whitney, please.
It might just be the empty bag I'm holding at that
That's
point.
fine.
Well, no, I'm
That's
going to need
fine.
some on the way down. So
Yeah, you're going to need a snack on the way down.
my entire trip. Now, I got to tell you, we might not make it to the summit this year.
That's okay. You might have weather, right?
Well, no, weather doesn't stop us, but I have a back issue. My friend Coddington.
It's the billionaire Don Coddington's.
He's had some health issues, but you know what? We're still training and we're going to go. And we both decided that if we end up with physical problems on the way up, if my back I've been having this really bad sciatica. They figured out I have a nerve trapped and the whole thing.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
if mine gets too bad, and by the way, we're doing every man for himself. So if anyone has to turn around, the other guy is going to continue anyway. That's always our deal because
I love that. That's a very grown up way to handle it.
You got to stick with your partner. But this is we're going up the soft and succulent trail, and there's other people there, so you won't be away from people. And we both, folks, and I suggest everyone do this if you hike along. We have these beacons that we carry. They're made by Garmin. They're not cheap, but you got to ask yourself, how much is your life worth? So, like the beacon costs $300-400, and I just activate mine for the summertime. I carry it with me in a kayak, mountain biking, in the rowing. When I'm rowing outdoors and the whole thing, and on the mountain, so that Serena can go, oh, he was moving in that rowboat, and now he's stopped for a long period.
Something's up. Yeah.
Did he get hurt? Did he have a heart attack? What happened? Is he in the water dead? Right. So
I love that. Do you have the beacon on your storefront or whatever?
Debbie, put it.
I think that's a great idea.
I don't know what it's called. It's a Garmin something 2 or something. Garmin.
That's awesome.
Folks, this is very important stuff. Let me figure it out.
No, it is really important because I'm like, it's women who go jogging and you have to go at night. Good idea.
Mine is called the.
How big is it? Like, do you put it in your pocket or what? How do you do it?
Well, no, you hang it off of your like it's got a little carabiner on it. You just hang it in your backpack, or when I go rowing, I clip it to the boat. So it's called the Garmin InReach Mini 2, and I'm looking here. They are $400. I see some places $300, but I remember paying about $400 for it. But here's the other cool thing. And by the way, folks, I'm not doing an ad for Garmin. So Debbie, find the Garmin InReach 2 and put that in the Vinnie thing on Amazon so people can see it. Here's the deal. when we get up on a mountain, guess what? You don't have cell service anymore.
Right.
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 You're away from everything. These things are connected to so many satellites that your phone goes through that, and you can make phone calls anywhere in the world. Right. This is a magnanimous piece of equipment, right? Is magnanimous the right word? It's an awesome piece of equipment because I can send text to Serena. We just got to the summit. We're going to be coming down. It gives you so many free text and all this kind of stuff. These devices are a must-have if you're the type of guy like me that goes mountain biking by himself. Look, I can hit a rock, go, head over Tea-Kettle and end up in a tree with a broken neck. How would they ever find me? I can fall down a ravine, mountain biking where I mountain bike. I'm on ridges all the time. So I want someone to be able to find me. So I don't know why I brought that up. How did I even bring that up?
Because you're gonna take Pure Vitamin Club. I'm sorry, you're gonna take Ultra Fats, cheese bites, and coffee.
Yeah, and the cheese bites, folks, the cheese bites are going to be full price. But if you want something cheaper, you could get the BOGO 25 on all of Anna's powders. So go do that right now. Anyway, Chris, anything else?
No.
Now
that
like Chris hung up. He's like, I'm bored.
27-houring himself. And I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty excited for the cheese bites.
Thank you. I'm very excited too. They're delish. They are very delicious
flavor. And so if you give me I feel like it's socially unacceptable to eat your spices directly out of the can while I'm in public. So it gives me an excuse.
Good. Well, because I was making them. Yeah. I was making them. I was making cheese snacks at home and putting the spices on them, making little cheese, which you're welcome to do, people. But then I was like, well, what if I started calling companies who work with cheese? And then most of them said no. And one person wouldn't even take my calls. And then another one, he did take my calls. And then I met him at the trade show. And then he was like, nah, you're going to take business from me. I don't want to do that. And I was like, okay. And then I called, I think it was the fourth or fifth company that I called. And they were like, yeah. And then I was like, really? And then they're like, yeah. And then it took us about 1.5 years in R&D to get it right.
Well, Anna, I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you've done it. This is so cool. This is like the coolest thing ever. And I will be taking your product with me to fuel.
That will definitely be the highest altitude any of our products have ever been.
Yeah, maybe.
Except for like on an airline.
Oh, you know what? I might bring the pink crema and dip the cheese in the.
That's a convenient thing to bring on a hike. It's a jar of pasta sauce.
I'm Italian. What do you expect? Hey, what do you got in that backpack? I got some cheese and some.
I have a vodka sauce.
And I got a mini espresso machine.
And a mocha maker.
That's how I make it. I bring the mocha and we drink
mocha.
coffee.
I know.
Yeah, I have this little tiny thing. It's called a little gigapower thing. It just opens up and you have a flame and you stick it on there. Amazing. And about 2.5 minutes later, you got a mocha pot full of coffee. You pour, you drink, you move on.
I would want that coffee.
When you've done that trip so many times, I'm going for some kind of record, or do I want to enjoy myself and look at the scenery around me and enjoy a coffee? Why not?
Number 2.
Yeah. Why not enjoy coffee?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
So there. Anna, you have anything there that we should talk about?
I was wondering if you want to talk about heat real quick. Sauna.
Yeah, Chris, you want to stay on for that? You've been on the whole show anyway.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here answering emails. I got nothing else to do.
All right. So go on, Anna. What do you got?
So, it's my birthday coming up and my sweet husband comes home with this, he said, there's a new spa. Why don't you pick out something that you want to do? And that can be like your birthday thing. And I was like, he's like, they have an infrared sauna. And I love a sauna. Sauna is my preferred over the steam room. I like a sauna, but I have a steam shower, but I don't have a sauna at home. I haven't done a sauna since long before COVID, since we used to do Tales from the Sauna when I would go to the gym sauna, but I do love a hot heat. Not going to lie. So he's like, why don't you go here and do a sauna? And I'm kind of like, I don't really want to pay to go to a sauna when we have a steam room at the house. Like, I won't do it. But I thought it was really sweet of him to want to, like, hey, go treat yourself and do something. We've been through, we're sad with the dog. And so then I was like, well, wait a minute. Usually Vinny and I at least once a year talk about heat, steam versus sauna. Is it fit? Is it bullshit? Is it a good thing? Is this one is an infrared sauna with red light therapy? Does that even matter? Cold shift. They have one where you go back and forth. You do the sauna and then the cold plunge. Let's talk about it.
Okay. First off, when is your birthday, Anna?
May 9th.
When is this coming out?
May 15th.
Okay, so here's for a belated birthday. You ready?
Yeah.
There he is, Paul McCartney and Wings.
It's funny how people are like screaming. They're like, ah, like because it's the birthday song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody loves that song. And as a matter of fact, every year for my birthday, our mutual friend, Nancy Wolfson, and I call each other because he says the song, you say it's your birthday, is my birthday too.
And really that doesn't apply. I never got that about that song because it really doesn't apply that much.
It applies
but for you guys, it does.
Yeah, because our birthday is on the same day. All right, so here's the deal. There is no study that I'm aware of that says that infrared anything does anything special to your body. I'm sorry. There's a lot of anecdotal studies out there. I know Gary Brecka and all these people are talking about it, but if you listen to Gary Brecka, you won't have time to take a shit. You'll be too busy doing all the other things.
Somebody said to me the other day, have you heard of Gary Brecka? And I'm like, yeah.
According to Gary Brecka, you have to hydrogenate your water, which is hydrogen and oxygen to begin with. You got to add hydrogen.
Wait, the thing that has 2 molecules per every 1 molecule of oxygen?
Yeah, he's telling you got to put another molecule of that in there. Yeah, it's H3O with Gary Brecka. And somehow that's going to magically...
Okay.
So I've got enough of him. I got an ass full of Gary Brecka.
Well, he talks about like the ionization and the PEMF mats, but then he's also like, or you could just go stand on the ground. And I was like, I'll go stand on the ground.
Yes, cheaper. So
I like standing in the ground.
People have been yelling about these infrared saunas for a few years now. And I started hearing about them because, hey, they made them really cheap. You could put them in your home and, it doesn't take up a lot of space. Throw it in your garage or whatever.
Well, and I think they're not as hot.
That's the problem. Every time I've been in an infrared sauna, I've been pissed off because I'm a sauna freak.
I love a sauna.
I am a sauna freak. I want a sauna to be at 185 to 195 degrees. I want it to be effing hot. I want to sweat. I want to feel it. I want that, look, everybody I have on the show, when I have people like Dr. Anthony J and all these people, it's like, you want to get some of these impurities out, the plastics and the whole thing, sweat. Saunas are good for you. They will open you up. They will do this. Everything is great about a sauna. Is the same thing great about a steam room? Yes. The problem is you got to sit in a muggy ass steam room. It reminds me of Louisiana, 1978 football. I don't like, I've had enough muggy in my life. I don't want to be in another muggy room. Go on.
Banjo music or CCR in the background as soon as he steps into it.
Born on the bayou. Yeah. So I don't want to hear from a steam room, even though we're putting a steam shower in our bathroom.
You're going to love it. You're going to love having the steam shower.
I've had one before. That's why I know you come back from a hike where you're freezing cold or a freezing cold bike ride or whatever. You get in a steam shower. Oh, it just brings you right back.
I got to keep the steam shower. If I'm going to stay in there 15, 20 minutes, I have to keep it at 140 to 160. I can't do it super hot.
No, that's
water droplets.
No, because of the water, you can't get much hotter than that because that hot water gets in your lungs. It feels like it's going to suffocate you.
Yeah.
A steam room, you can go much higher. But whenever I've done
sauna, you can go much higher.
Huh?
A sauna, you can go much higher.
Yeah. Okay. What I say, steam? Yeah. Sauna, you can go much higher. Every time I've been in one of these infrareds, it's like you're lucky if it gets to 160 or 150 or whatever. And And the people pushing it is going, oh no, you don't understand, Ben. It's getting that heat beneath your skin with the infrared. Stop it. Stop it. It's not. There's nothing happening here. That's about as real as putting infrared lights on your scalp so that you can grow hair. It ain't happening. It's not happening, folks. There's nothing special about infrared light. I'm sorry. And yes, I know I'm going to get people writing me hate mail going, I cured my cancer with infrared light. I'm
Great.
glad that you cured your cancer, right? Everybody's cured their cancer by doing something. I get it. I don't want to hear it. There's no study showing that any of this works. Not Gary Brecka, no one. I'm sorry. You want to get in the sauna, you want to get in a real sauna where you sweat your ass off, literally. You want to open up those pores. You want to get your system. There's so many studies out there. Chris is probably looking up stuff right now talking about the 5 things that happen when you use heat, right? Very good for you. It's good for your circulatory system. It's good for everything. Chris, you got anything over there? Because you're always looking up stuff. Or are you answering emails?
He knows Anna won't.
Yeah,
Anna's useless.
Anna never does anything.
Up,
Anna just sits there and looks pretty. That's her job.
Man, if you want the one benefit that matters, it's enhanced sleep, right? Like,
boom.
Doing a steam before sleep is amazing.
Oh my God, there is nothing better. Plus you're cooling down naturally, right? So you're getting right into that thing. But whether it's a sauna or Bikram yoga, like a hot yoga session, I've never slept better in my life than when I'm in a sauna, or if I do hot yoga, I could take a nap and wake up 7 hours later, right? It's one of those things. But you also get the immunity benefits, pain reduction, better circulation, relaxation, all of that kind of stuff. The issue with the infrared is even the top end ones, like clear light, they'll top out between 160 and 170. They won't get any hotter than that.
That's better than most.
They're certainly not going to get hot at a commercial facility.
But you're also talking about, all right, so let's look up clear light really fast just to see.
I want one of those old school saunas that's like the barrel sauna that's made with like the aspen wood, and there's one company I know, I've had it researched for a while, and I always said if I get like a big windfall, I'm going to treat myself and get this sauna, and then you put it like right outside. Absolutely. And it's like a barrel, and it's like non-toxic. They make it with non-toxic. They don't treat the wood with chemicals in a way that's, it's like a barrel. You know what I'm talking about?
But you see, I thought about building one inside of this little.
You're handy. You could build one.
No, I could build one inside of this little hut I have back here by my office. And that's what I want to do. But Serena has some delusion of grandeur that Tallulah is going to be bringing grandkids around sometime soon. It's like, honey, I'll bring those grandkids with me in that sauna. She's not even getting close to marriage. So what are we talking about? Ain't going to happen.
You can build the sauna and then rip out the sauna when there's a grandkid.
Or just build something different for the grandkid.
That's true.
Or I can just leave and go somewhere else. Probably
and then
easier.
She can snuggle with the grandbabies in the bed.
Yeah, probably easier. Chris, where did you find?
So you can get a regular sauna for $700 or $800, like a single person one.
Yeah.
Clear light starts around $1,500.
Right.
Right. So for like their little cabinet closet looking thing for a single person.
The one I was looking at was like $5,000.
I was looking at $7,000, the barrel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if we're talking about starting points, right? Your infrared saunas start at a much higher price point. They level out and there's not as much variety because there's only a handful of companies that make them. You also aren't going to be building one. Right? You can build a sauna for a couple $100 and do it right. Right? Like find your friendly neighborhood Jose or hire a local contractor and you could have one built in a weekend for substantially less than that. You're not going to be doing that with an infrared one. And if you want all of the benefits of the heat side of that, you want to be able to control that temperature, which you're not able to do in the same range as you are with a quote unquote regular sauna.
Right. And with a regular, now Anna, would you do a wood burning or would you do electrical?
I probably would just do electrical for simplicity.
Me too. It's just easier. You don't have to go, especially in the winter months. I don't want to have to go out there and start loading up the sauna, lighting it, stuff. Just run electricity back there. Some of these saunas, that I looked up, you looked up the wood and everything. I did that, but you can look up the different heaters you can put in there, right? The different type of heaters and all that stuff. You could get these things rocking and rolling, and it's not that expensive.
My God, sauna squares. This place has squares.
You'll look up.
Yeah, that's the other thing with saunas. Vinny, have you and I talked about Joel and Angel have an infrared sauna?
No.
And the one thing that I absolutely hate about that, unlike a traditional sauna, is that because it's not a direct heat source, it takes longer to warm up than you spend in the sauna.
Right. That's annoying.
Right. So if you want to spend 25 minutes in an infrared sauna and you want to do it at 170 degrees, let's say, an electric heat sauna or a wood burning sauna will get there much faster than an infrared sauna. So the last time I was at their house, I said, yeah, I'm going to jump in the sauna before bed. And rather than being in there for 10 minutes at 200, you're in there for 25 at 170 or whatever to get to the same level of sweatiness. Is that a word?
Yeah.
The same sweat coverage. Let's just go that way. And you're just wasting time, energy, and electricity, right? Like you have to let it warm up for an hour to get in it for 20 minutes.
No,
to that point,
nobody wants that.
There was a private salon in town. They're fans of this podcast, and they were like, "Hey, man, come by anytime, to use the sauna." And I let them not charge me the first time. Like, anytime you come by, I was like, no, I'll pay. I'll gladly pay. But they said, you got to call us an hour ahead of time so we can heat it up.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. When you open that door, you got to open it and get the hell in there because it loses heat so fast. It
loses the heat.
And now you're sitting in there. Like the last time I got in one of those, it was up to 157. I open the door, I slip in, I'll look up, it's 120, right? And I'm like sitting there going, okay, how long is it going to take to get to it? I'm just sitting there, right? I'm just sitting and sitting and sitting going, this is going to be forever. And it was. So, yeah, not a fan of infrared. Sorry.
Okay. Folks, but you like heat, and I like talking about that with you because I know that you're a fan of heat. And
I am.
But you know what? Then I was right. I was like, I'm not going to go pay for that. I'll just do a steam at home for free.
Yeah, and look, I've looked at it. It's like, okay, I can build one of these for $5,000 to $7,000 to have a top rate one.
They have a DIY one.
I know. I saw that and I was like, do I do that? Or
that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I might do that because you can save $2,000 or $3,000 and just. Here's the thing: it's like once you have a sauna. Right? Like I looked at, there's a place called Boar's Head. It's like, okay, all I would use is their sauna. Maybe I'll get in the swimming pool. It's not a country club, but you have to buy into their whole thing. They want several $100s a month to belong to that just to go use a sauna. Within a year, I could have owned a sauna. Right? That's the way I'm looking at it. Why not just save my shekels, build a sauna?
Right.
And I think that's the way everyone should look at it. And if you're going, well, then I can get an infrared today for $1,500, or, I would just wait and go build the one you want. Right? Just build what you want and just leave it at that.
This one, I want this one. It's $5,800.
Can you tell us the name brand or whatever?
Redwood Outdoors.
That's the name brand?
There's a lot of brands. I don't think... I remember my functional medicine doctor referred me to a brand. I got to find out what she said to do.
I just remember looking up.
but you assemble it, which is kind of fun. But that seems like a lot. $5,800 seems like a lot, and you're putting it together. It does not arrive.
I've seen that one too, but Anna, I think, and like several people can fit in there. You could put you and several friends.
It says it's 6 people.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty tight.
That's four sweaty people.
That's 4 people.
Four sweaty people. Yeah.
Yeah. But you would get the barrel one, right?
I don't think it's ever going to be more than like me and Lauren in there at the same time. Like if friends come over, they could use it. Sure.
2 Italians arguing with each other in a hot room.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
We will nail that assignment.
It's a crazy thing. And looking at Redwoods, so their 2-person sauna is almost the same price as the 6-person sauna.
That's what I don't get.
Well,
I'm getting the 6-person.
Well, the 2-person sauna is easier to heat also. But here's the thing.
Yeah,
and I shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm somewhat of a fan of exercising in the sauna, meaning stretching.
Okay. So this is what I did want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Because in the Tales from the Sauna, I had a problem with people doing weird shit in the sauna.
Okay. I would never do that in a sauna.
In a public sauna.
In a public sauna, if I'm in there by myself,
right,
I might do some sit-ups, some push-ups, some lunges. I might, if I'm by myself.
And is that good for you to do that, like for cardiovascular training, or like what's the thinking behind it?
I listen, folks, go visit your doctor before you do that. That's all I'm going to say. Go see your doctor. Make sure that your heart is in shape. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You got to be in shape. I know people who train for the bad water. They literally build saunas and put treadmills in them, bicycles. They do all that crazy stuff.
And put them on the things so you can just
Now, Redwood also makes have you seen the panorama one where there's glass on both sides?
Oh, that's cool. I wonder how efficient is that though with the glass?
It's not, especially where I live with all that glass. I mean, it's going to lose heat right away.
Right away.
Right. So, I would get the one, the 6-person with the porch, because you need to walk up to it. It might be snowing or raining half the time. You want to walk up to it, take your shoes off on the outside and then get in. Right.
Right.
So that's the way you want to do it. I actually have a spot picked out near my my back door to do it. Yep.
I have a spot picked out too.
You and I looked at the same sauna, Anna. How cool is that?
Yeah. Well, we need to get our sauna game going.
Yeah. But if you're asking, big fan. Big fan. And folks, big fan of everything Anna's doing. Go check out BOGO25 at eathappykitchen.com. If you want free stuff from Anna, go to annavocino.substack.com. If you want to hear anything from Chris, if he sounded intriguing to you guys, he and I are on the podcast every Wednesday, and he kicks ass. He's good.
Awesome.
People love the Chris, except for when their stuff don't show up. Then they don't love the Chris.
They are furious with the Chris.
Yeah, so go check that out. You know what to do. Rate and review this podcast. Amazon, before you go to Amazon, go to VinnieTartaris.com. Click through the banner. Puts a little coal on the fire, gets my train down the track. There was a song you reminded me of earlier in the podcast.
Okay.
So I need to find it. Let's see if it is it right here? Yeah, I think it's right here. All right. So on behalf of Chris Schaffer and Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tartaris. Put life into living and do it with credence.